The sun beats down on the winding roads of upstate New York as I, Kayla Hayes, 29, and finally prioritizing myself, steer my car toward my lakeside cottage in the Finger Lakes. After months of grinding through IT consulting gigs in the city, endless deadlines, client fires, and zero downtime, I'm claiming 10 days of pure solitude. This place is my hard-earned escape, bought with overtime and smart saving, no handouts from family. No inheritance either, just the burden of always putting others first. I've played the long game while colleagues splurge on city weekends or luxury bags. 2 properties by 29, not bad for someone from a blended middle-class mess. But that family weight, it's been crushing. For years, I've been the fixer, the enabler, especially since Dad died, and the dynamics shifted. My brother, 3 years older but somehow always the fragile one, ramps up his demands around his birthday. This year, I said no. He has his wife now. He can handle his own chaos. The cottage emerges by the lake, serene as a postcard. But my stomach drops when I spot multiple cars in the drive. His flashy SUV, a sedan I don't recognize, and more. What the break-in, emergency, heart racing, I park and grab my phone, ready for anything. Music blasts from inside, not my chill playlist, but thumping party beats. I push the door open, key unnecessary. The scene hits like a slap. A massive birthday cake dominates the counter, balloons and streamers everywhere in tacky neon. Strangers lounge on my furniture, sipping from my crystal glasses. In the middle, my brother grins, hosting like it's his domain. His stepmom, our stepmom, chats with guests, and his wife hovers nearby. Photos of their side of the family replace mine on the mantle. Our parents' picture shoved aside. His eyes meet mine. No shock, just defiance. "You're early," he says, voice laced with that familiar edge. If you've ever walked into your own space and found family treating it like theirs, turning your sanctuary into their playground, what did you do? Share your story in the comments below. And let's talk about those tough boundary moments. I'd love to hear how you reclaimed your peace. The silence hangs heavy as his words land. My brother's eyes narrow, not with guilt, but that entitled spark I've seen too many times. "It's nice you showed up at our cottage," he adds, his tone dripping passive aggression honed over years. Our cottage. The phrase punches the air from my lungs. I lock eyes with him, shock rippling through me like the lake waves outside. This isn't some casual visit. Suitcases pile in the corner. Unopened mail scatters the entry table. His jacket claims my usual hook. Strangers sip from my heirloom glasses. A couple I've never met sprawls in my lounge chair. Young friends mix drinks at the bar using my vintage punch bowl. His wife shifts her weight, staring at the floor, thumb fidgeting with her ring, a telltale sign she knows this is wrong. "Who invited you all here?" I ask, my voice steady despite the storm inside. He straightens face, flushing. "I did," he yells, the words exploding like fireworks over the lake. "This place just sits empty half the year." His stepmom, our stepmom, steps forward, her elaborate hairstyle bobbing. "Exactly, dear. You never use it anyway. We thought it'd be perfect for his birthday bash. No harm in family sharing, right?" The room watches, glasses paused, laughter dying. I scan more carefully. Garlands twist across beams, scented candles clash with lake air, vanilla and citrus overwhelming the space. On the side table, our parents' photo hides behind a balloon bouquet. Something cracks inside me, the foundation of endless giving finally fracturing. I draw a breath, ignoring the rising pleas in their eyes. "I believe you didn't mean harm," I say, addressing his stepmom and the older man beside her, likely her husband, while bypassing my brother entirely. "But you have 24 hours to vacate and restore everything to its original state. If it's not spotless when I return, I'll seek legal options." The temperature plummets. A glass clinks sharply as someone sets it down. His wife's face pales, clutching her sweater like a shield. "We had no idea," she stammers, glancing between my brother and me. He said you approved this for his birthday. Of course he did. My brother freezes wine halfway to his lips. This deviates from our script, me exploding him playing victim. Instead, I stand calm, offering no fuel. His stepmom rises quickly. We should gather our things, she urges her husband, collecting scattered items with worried looks. The others follow, abandoning plates mid-bite, avoiding my gaze, except my brother, whose disbelief sharpens to panic. He realizes I'm serious. I don't engage, no arguments, no justifications. I close the door gently and walk to my car through the humid summer air. Rain starts pattering on the leaves as I drive away, the Finger Lakes road slick under tires. Each curve pulls me from a lifetime of bending. 2 hours later, I check into a roadside motel, the room basic with fluorescent lights and a coffee maker. I brew a cup from the tray and sit by the window, watching droplets streak the glass. Anger flares hot at first, thoughts racing over stolen peace, not just the cottage, but years without boundaries. As evening deepens, it cools to clarity. This goes beyond the invasion. It's about them assuming I'd allow it forever. Memories surface. My 10th birthday scrapped because he caught a minor bug. Nothing dire, but our stepmom insisted his needs came first. Protect him. Mom's voice echoes in my head before she passed too. He's weaker, needs more. That message embedded deep, reinforced until I defaulted to sacrifice. Our stepmom amplified it, favoring him in every decision, extra allowances, excused chores, while I hustled for approval. I've absorbed it all, putting his demands above my life. Steam rises from my cup as I catalog the enablers I've built. The apartment in Syracuse where I subsidized half his rent for years, claiming he was finding himself. The car loan I co-signed despite his flaky payments, justifying it as safer transport. The credit cards with my guarantee just until he builds credit. Ignoring his splurges on trips over bills. The pattern clarifies painfully. My vow at Dad's funeral twisted into chains, binding me to giving him to taking. What started as care warped into resentment, his expectation mixed with bitterness at dependence. Rain intensifies outside, washing the world clean. Tomorrow I'll check the cottage, unsure of compliance but certain of one thing: the cycle ends here. Whether he sees it or not, everything changes now. My phone buzzes on the nightstand, yanking me from sleep. I squint at the screen through morning light piercing the motel curtains. No messages, just the alarm I set. The cottage waits, and uncertainty gnaws at me. I slip into clothes from yesterday and head out, the summer humidity already thick. Back at the lakeside property, everything appears untouched from outside. No cars clutter the drive, no music pulses. I brace for chaos as I unlock the door, expecting half-hearted cleanup or escalation. What greets me stops me cold. The place sparkles with unnatural perfection, not a cushion askew, not a speck on the surfaces. Counters gleam as if scrubbed for hours, floors show fresh vacuum lines. The birthday remnants vanished entirely, no stray balloon fragments, no cake crumbs. I move to the living room where the mantel holds our parents' photos, centered precisely, glass-wiped crystal clear. Rooms beyond follow suit. Bedrooms, pristine sheets, folded military-style bathrooms sanitized to hotel standards. This overzealous restoration screams guilt, an attempt to erase the violation. Standing amid the stillness, anger fades further. In its place, a sharp clarity emerges. This isn't merely about reclaiming space, it's recognizing how my endless accommodations fostered entitlement. Each help reinforced his belief that my resources were communal, my boundaries optional. The shift feels profound, like fog lifting over the lake. I settle at the kitchen table with my laptop, methodical now. First, an email to Victoria, who manages the apartment building where Joshua lives. As landlord, she's benefited from my subsidies too long. Effective immediately. I type, I terminate all financial contributions to Joshua's rent. Proceed per standard lease terms. Next, a call to the auto finance company. I'd like to cancel the automatic payments on the loan I co-signed. I explain, providing details without emotion. The representative confirms, noting potential impacts on his account. Then formal letters. One to the credit card issuer ending my guarantor status, another to the utility provider withdrawing my backing. Each document states professional facts only, no accusations. I will no longer assume responsibility for these obligations. Sending them brings a twist of old guilt, but I breathe through it. This isn't punishment. It's necessity, freeing us both from distorted roles. Weeks pass in quiet routine back in the city. Work demands pull me in, but with newfound focus. One afternoon, the first ripple arrives via email from Victoria. Joshua Hayes is delinquent on rent payments. My finger pauses over reply. Instinct urges intervention, the familiar pull to smooth it over. Instead, I compose, follow the lease agreement. Issue the 14-day non-payment notice as required. Pursue eviction proceedings if unresolved, no exceptions. Hitting send, the guilt eases quicker than expected, replaced by resolve. In New York, leases enforce strictly. He's had ample warnings through years of my support. Clarity deepens as days unfold. I see now how my compassion without limits bred dependency. Subsidizing that apartment let him skip steady jobs, prioritizing parties over stability. Co-signing the car ignored his history of late bills, enabling more debt. Guarantees on cards and utilities. They masked his irresponsibility, turning my reliability into his crutch. Victoria's role sharpens. In hindsight, she's perpetuated it, treating him as perpetual victim while expecting me to fill gaps. Her favoritism, subtle yet constant, shifted family burdens squarely onto me. The lake cottage, once a symbol of my sacrifices, now represents potential rebirth. I plan a return soon to make it truly mine without traces of compromise. As the first consequence sets in motion, I acknowledge the discomfort ahead for him. Yet this path, though tough, promises growth. For the first time, consequences belong to those who earned them. A few weeks later, another email lands in my inbox. The subject reads, "Vehicle repossession completed." Attached a photo shows Joshua's SUV loaded onto a tow truck, summer dusk, casting long shadows around it. I delete the message without reply, a quiet nod to the unfolding reality. Back at the cottage for the final day of my retreat, I open closets and drawers, uncovering remnants he left over visits. A forgotten scarf draped on a hook, earrings on the bathroom shelf, novels with marked pages by the guest bed. I collect them into a box, sealing it for mailing to his address. No note, just return. Rearranging begins next. I shift furniture to maximize the lake view, positioning the reading chair by the window, where sunlight streams in. New artwork hangs on walls, abstract prints I picked from a local gallery, replacing generic pieces. Throw pillows, swap for bolder patterns that suit my taste alone. With each change, the space evolves, shedding layers of accommodation. This cottage, purchased after grinding 60-hour weeks, now mirrors my priorities without apology. That evening, I schedule my first therapy session with Dr. Vaughn, recommended by a colleague. We meet via video, her calm presence filling the screen. "Tell me about your family dynamics," she prompts. I dive in, unpacking generations of bias. Grandma favored sons, mom echoed it by prioritizing Joshua despite his age advantage. Victoria amplified the pattern after marrying dad, excusing his lapses while pushing me to excel independently. It's like a martyr complex passed down, I say. I became the enabler, always stepping in. Dr. Vaughn nods. That role traps both sides. You sacrifice self, he avoids growth. Recognizing it is the first step. We explore how Victoria's favoritism, extra support for him, minimal for me, warped our sibling bond into imbalance. Sessions like this promise tools to dismantle it. The phone vibrates days later, Joshua's name flashing. Peace shatters as I answer. "Kayla." His voice cracks, splintering my name. "What's wrong?" I press the device closer. Everything. Words flood out Victoria, calling him unreliable, saying he contributes nothing. Amber stood silent at first, then piled on, demanding he mature and find work. She mentioned the cottage said I humiliated her family. Alarm bells ring, the old urge to rescue surging. I touch the cool window, watching lake ripples. Please, Kayla. His tone drops to that childhood whine. One last chance. Help fix this. Tell Amber I'm changing. Let me stay at your place till it calms. I close my eyes, the cycle glaring crisis plea my intervention brief, thanks fading to expectation, then resentment. You're 32, Joshua. The response comes even surprising me. I'm not your parent. Silence crackles. What does that mean? Defensiveness creeps in. It means solve your own marriage, your ties with Victoria's side. I inhale deeply. Own your life. No advice follows, just stark truth. The line stretches quiet, then his voice sharpens. You wrecked it all? Accusations erupt. Without you, I'd be fine. You think you're superior, making me reliant now, ditching when I need you. Background noises filter through drawers, slamming items thudding against surfaces, tension boiling over. Don't blame your sister. You caused this. Amber's voice interrupts, startling me. She must be on speaker. Stay out. Joshua snaps, sound receding as he turns. No, I'm done. Amber retorts. She's correct. Act like an adult, not a kid expecting bailouts. Their exchange intensifies, voices overlapping in chaos. Something falls with a heavy thud. See what you did, Joshua shrieks. More thuds punctuate Amber's insistence to halt the destruction of shared belongings. I listen without interrupting or disconnecting. This storm isn't mine to navigate. The call ends abruptly. Sudden quiet weighs heavy, laced with released expectations. I set the phone down, no compulsion to redial or verify safety. The threads of misplaced duty unravel fully from my frame. Relief surges not from his pain, but from no longer shielding him from inevitable fallout. A month later, the news trickles in through a mutual acquaintance. An email from a hometown contact details the fallout. Amber initiated divorce proceedings, citing irreconcilable differences rooted in financial instability. Victoria, as property owner, demanded Joshua vacate the apartment after repeated delinquencies. The car disappearance sealed his isolation, company asset reclaimed swiftly. The message continues. His social standing crumbled following a public outburst at a local eatery where friends and acquaintances observed erratic conduct. Firsthand, raised voices overturned chairs, accusations flying amid stunned diners. I absorb the revelations without triumph. No surge of vindication courses through me. Instead, a serene acknowledgement settles. Sometimes reaching rock bottom forces discovery of inner resilience. Joshua's path, though painful, might forge that for him. Winter loosens its hold on New York, milder air hinting at renewal. Seasons turn, mirroring personal evolutions we embrace or resist. The vacuum left by severed ties fills with intentional pursuits. Books stacked on my nightstand untouched for months draw me in, novels exploring independence, memoirs on breaking cycles. Pages turn under evening lamps, offering escapes untethered from family demands. A downtown cooking class enrolls me next, hands, kneading dough alongside strangers turned companions. Techniques for sauces and roasts absorb my focus, flavors awakening senses dulled by prior obligations. Reconnections bloom organically. Coffee with an old friend evolves into group dinners, laughter echoing over shared meals. At one gathering, I confess openly. I vanished into Joshua's crises, like sinking slowly without noticing. She nods empathetically. We saw it happening, worried you'd never surface. The honesty pricks, but heals, unlike past deflections. These bonds, grounded in reciprocity rather than rescue, strengthen without draining. Work transforms too. Mornings arrive with purpose, Inbox managed efficiently, sans interruptions from urgent pleas. Laura spots the difference immediately during our prep for the weekly briefing. "You seem sharper," she observes, arranging reports. "More engaged, somehow." I smile, aligning notes with fresh confidence. Boundaries work wonders. The meeting unfolds smoothly, my contributions landing with impact. Colleagues nod in agreement, ideas flowing unhindered by lingering resentments. Focus sharpens on high-value tasks, volunteering selectively instead of defaulting to every fire. Quality trumps quantity, carving space for deeper involvement. Lunch breaks extend to casual chats. Invitations multiplying as presence radiates. Collaborative efforts spark innovation, no longer shadowed by voicemail distractions. This equilibrium feels earned, a testament to reclaimed agency. The acceptance of Joshua's unraveling anchors, it all not delight in his struggles, but recognition that shielding perpetuated harm. Quiet evenings affirm the shift. A walk along city paths breeze carrying hints of spring reinforces the value of self-prioritization. Friends' admissions during outings validate further. "Your energy is contagious now," one remarks over wine. "No more carrying invisible weights." Their words resonate, highlighting progress invisible before. The drowned in problems era closes, replaced by buoyancy. Preparation for upcoming presentations intensifies, slides refined with undivided attention. Laura's echo lingers, fueling momentum. In this phase, acceptance breeds momentum. Hitting bottom as Joshua navigates underscores universal truths. Strength emerges from adversity unassisted. My routine solidifies, blending solitude with selected connections. Books inspire classes, challenge dinners, nurture each element, fortifying without obligation. Work's rhythm sustains the balance, meetings approached with poise. The difference, as Laura noted, permeates interactions, drawing positive feedback. This chapter, defined by focus, heralds sustainable change. No joy in others' downfall, just steady embrace of personal evolution. 3 months later, Joshua's email appears in my inbox on a Tuesday afternoon. The subject line is neutral: update. Inside, he describes a new job at a logistics firm, entry-level but steady. Apartment hunting follows, mentions of budget options in the suburbs, no overt asks, yet a subtle undercurrent hints at seeking approval or aid. I read it twice, noting the absences: no urgency, no guilt maneuvers. My response, crafts carefully: "Sounds promising. If you're free, Saturday afternoon coffee at the cafe near your work, 2 hours max." Internally, resolve hardens. Engagement feels premature. Distance remains essential for now. The office buzzes with end-of-quarter energy. Mr. Ellis summons me post-meeting, his corner suite overlooking the skyline. "Your handling of the Westridge pitch clinched it," he says. "That direct approach, the clear strategy, it's what they value. Promotion effective next month." Gratitude swells, untempered by past distractions. The role elevates me to lead consultant, overseeing key accounts like Westridge, demanding yet rewarding. Colleagues notice the uptick. Lunch invites surge from quick grabs to extended discussions. Projects ignite creativity, ideas flowing in brainstorming sessions without the drag of unresolved family pulls. In the break room one day, Carla approaches hesitantly, coffee mug in hand. "Got a minute?" she asks, settling at the table. She outlines her dilemma. Parents mandate weekly dinners. Partner feeling sidelined, guilt mounting with each potential skip. "You handle things so balanced," she adds, "like you know your limits." A wry smile escapes. Recent lesson. 6 months back, my brother commandeered my vacation spot without asking. Her eyes widen. How do you respond? Realized affection doesn't require proximity, physical or emotional. Whatever space preserves well-being. She processes, nodding. That's the perspective I needed. Mentoring her reframes my experiences, turning personal trials into shared wisdom. Therapy with Dr. Vaughn persists weekly, a anchored ritual. We delve into reframing duty self-care as foundation boundaries, as extension aid, only after both. Hope lingers. I reflect in one session, but without strings of anticipation. She affirms, that's maturity wishing well from afar, unburdened by outcomes. Sessions peel layers revealing how prior patterns stifled potential. Now, unencumbered possibilities expand. Evenings fill with purposeful solitude or selective outings. A hike with a small group yields conversations free of obligation bonds built on mutual interest. Work's momentum carries through. The promotion announcement draws congratulations, team dynamics shifting positively. Collaborative ventures thrive, input valued without overextension. Carla's follow-up in the hall. Applied your advice, skipped one dinner, world didn't end. Progress mirrors mine, reinforcing the ripple of healthy choices. Joshua's email reply confirms coffee tone cautious, yet my decision solidifies. This meeting tests waters, not rebuilds bridges hastily. Therapy illuminates further, recognizing hope, detached from control, fosters genuine peace. The city's pulse aligns with my rhythm days, structured yet flexible. Lunches evolve into networks, projects, into showcases of skill. Mr. Ellis's feedback during review: your assertiveness transformed the team dynamic. Affirmation fuels continued growth, boundaries proving ally rather than barrier. In quiet moments, acceptance deepens. Joshua's steps, however tentative, belong to him alone. This interval cements transformation, self-focus yielding dividends across spheres. 6 months have transformed the cottage beyond recognition. I trace fingertips along the new security panel, how it merges seamlessly with the wooden walls. Motion sensors guard the exterior, offering reassurance without fortress vibes. Balance achieved at last. The intrusion erased all marks. Items touched by Joshua's group cleaned, swapped, or repositioned to my liking alone. The mantel centers mom and dad's photo, flanked by joyful snapshots. Conquering a Finger Lakes trail last fall, team laughs at the office retreat, me staining the kitchen navy on a whim. A scented candle, jasmine and sandalwood my choice. Despite his past complaints, flickers. The layout optimizes lake vistas over entertainment setups. My rare book collection claims the shelves, no longer displaced for others. The phone rings as timer chimes for arriving guests. Joshua's name lights the screen, a boundary test. I answer, without dread. Kayla. His tone quavers, humbler than before. I'm sorry. Please, one more shot. I watch a bird gather branches outside. Renewal beckons for those crafting it themselves. I'm listening, I reply, meaning it. Yet as he pleads, promises change, requests shelter, I interject calmly. I can't mend your world, Joshua. Handle your own responsibilities. Silence follows, then his tremor. But we're family. Family respects limits. I hang up gently. No callback, itch relief flooding like lake tides. The weight lifts permanently, consequences his to bear. Guests arrive soon after 8 from work, and hikes filling rooms with chatter. The table sets with eclectic plates from antique hunts, a style he'd scorn as mismatched. Laughter hums as wine pours. Lauren lifts her glass. To Kayla, she declares warmly, who teaches us boundaries, bravery, and chosen kin. Glasses clink in agreement, their gazes hold acknowledgement, not demand. These ties request authenticity alone. Marcus leans back. My cousin rearranged my vinyls by genre last visit, almost sparked war. Chuckles erupt, including mine. Months ago, such tales would have triggered anxiety spirals. Tonight, just humor among equals. After sweets, I step to the kitchen for breath, observing them relax in my domain without overtaking it. Stark contrast to his crowd's possessive sprawl. Morning dawns on the deck, journal, open Cabernet nearby. Pine scents mingle with promise. I pen, love doesn't demand self-erasure. Greatest offering to self is unapologetic existence, undefined by sibling roles or bearing others' loads. For years, duty equated shrinking so others expanded. Therapy redefines it. Accountability starts inward, flows to edges, then outward selectively. The cottage line rings, Dr. Vaughn confirming Tuesday. Looking forward, I affirm sincerely. Weekly dives unpack legacies, the sacrificial streak from grandma to mom to me, how Joshua absorbed entitlement as his part. Career blooms distraction free. Last promotion stemmed from declining crises, channeling energy into impactful hours. No becomes gateway to profound yes. Friendships prioritize quality, standing on respect's firm ground over duty's quicksand. Carla nears cautiously in the lounge. Minute. We sit. She shares parental dinner, insists. Partners sidelined, guilt-crushing declines. You appear composed, she notes, aware of your edges. Irony curls my lips. Fresh acquisition. Found my brother squatting my getaway. Eyes bulge. Action. Something overdue, understood care sometimes means separation. Words stem from earned insight, not hurt pride. Evening text from Joshua. Considering classes, business program, mind reviewing list sometime. No hurry. I pocket it, vowing thoughtful tomorrow reply over instant drop everything. Seeds of healthier ties may sprout or not. I'm equipped to connect or detach as required. Sunset gilds the lakes in gold and pink from my Adirondack seat. Journal lapside wine in grasp. Final entry, love endures. Boundaries define its scope. Distant ring echoes indoors. Pulse, steady breath even. Whatever awaits can hold till readiness. Anxiety, once compelling immediate action, morphs to calm certainty. Peace isn't conflict's lack, it's wholeness's presence. Boundaries aren't cruelty, they're necessity for freedom. In America, enabling traps both true strength is standing alone.